Number 10. It's possible that Meghan also decided that she didn't want to deal with a crowd that might yell at her, or that she didn't want to enter a hostile environment fueled by British tabloid newspapers, which is something she was perfectly entitled to do. However, some will argue that she ought to be by Harry's side supporting him during this significant event for his family. Since Prince Harry's popularity is declining, presenting a united front may benefit the both of them. While some of the couple's supporters will be disappointed not to see them together at this event, others will be pleased that Meghan and Harry chose to shield Meghan from criticism as much as possible if they attended. The fact of the matter is that neither Harry nor Meghan believe that they are required to attend the coronation for the sake of either their own brand or the royal family's brand. They are carrying it out the way they always have with the Sussexes. Had Harry and Meghan chose to go together, this would have achieved an entirely separate arrangement of sentiments. They would be blamed for attempting to take the spotlight by turning up together, and in the event that they had both chosen to remain away, they would have been marked narrow-minded. One thing is for certain, no matter what choice they made, they couldn't be right for being wrong. Number 9. Not on good terms with the in-laws. When the news of Harry and Meghan's move out of Kensington Palace to strike out on their own first broke in November of 2018, the public and the press came to a unanimous conclusion as to why that would be. Meghan. Everyone pointed the finger at the new royal, suggesting her alleged difficult Duchess attitude was not just reserved for the staff and had caused a feud between her and Kate. Obviously, all that turned out to be untrue. The Sussexes were expecting a baby and wanted more space than a 2-bedroom apartment they lived in at Kensington Palace. Kate and Meg have always had problems. It came out in November that there was a ton of tension between the royal family, as Kate and Meghan were not getting along. This meant that Prince Harry and Prince William were also not getting along, and the whole family just wasn't seeing eye to eye. This was super hard on everyone, but especially the Queen. Queen Liz was actually so fed up with the drama, she made Kate and Meghan sit down and sort it out. While a few hints have been given on why the royal family wasn't getting along, it was never really revealed why Kate had a problem with Meghan. Prince William was not happy about Prince Harry and Meghan moving out of Windsor, and Prince Harry also felt his brother didn't welcome Meghan with open arms. Despite the fact that Meghan and Kate have nothing in common, Kate had other reasons she did not like Meghan. Coming in at number 8, abrasive. Meghan was accused of abrasive behavior towards staff members and diplomats, according to the explosive royal biography due to be released this week, looking back at the Sussexes' visit to Sydney, Australia, where they received an amazing reception. Bauer writes, Meghan was allegedly abrasive towards her 4 female staff and even towards the local British diplomats. According to one report, Meghan allegedly threw a cup of tea into the air. Not the tea! He continued by saying that her anger may have been partly fueled by Harry. Every night he trawled social media searching for snide comments on the internet. Every morning he and Meghan turned on their phones to surf the internet. That doesn't sound very healthy to me. Australia, as covered in past videos, didn't seem to be as fun as the couple may have hoped, and it's been reported they were feeling down in the down under. Number 7, doing what she wants. It seems like Meg was trying to make a point by going to vote even though royals are forbidden to do so. After she posted a picture of her wearing a sticker indicating that she had gone to vote, it was not well received in the UK. And even though she is no longer an official member of the royal family, she is not permitted to abide by these laws. But it definitely is savage of her to do this knowingly since she is married into the family. Number 6, her short temper. Meghan and Harry's whirlwind romance has been in the spotlight pretty much since they got together. With fans and haters watching their every move, this couple is used to getting lots of attention, whether they like it or not. When Harry got with Meg, people started watching Meg like a hawk, dissecting her every move. Naturally, when you are part of the royals, people are gonna be more inclined to know what you're like. As someone part of the royal family, displaying strong emotions is not necessarily expected, especially in a public setting. After being invited as a guest speaker to the Power of Women charity benefit, Meg seemed irritated after pictures of her were published where she was seen lashing out at an employee in the parking lot. Pics published in the Daily Mail show her looking pretty ticked off while pointing directly at someone. Some believe she was scolding one of her employees, while others say she was letting a parking attendant have it. Coming in at number 5, mistreating staff. Leading up to the Oprah interview, The Times reported accusations that Meghan mistreated her palace aides and staff prior to the 2020 exit. While Meghan denied the allegations, noting in a statement to us in March 2021 that she was saddened by the latest attack on her character, the palace revealed they were investigating the claims. According to an insider, the couple's inner circle believes that Buckingham Palace's statement was a direct response to the upcoming interview. So what are your thoughts? Do you think they're being genuine about their efforts or trying to get the two to not reveal anything too problematic going on in the household? The assumptions from friends close to Meghan and Harry is that the palace has released a statement to strike back at Harry and Meghan for doing the tell-all interview, the source said. The palace knows that they will not be cast in the best light by Harry and Meghan on Sunday and doesn't want Harry and Meghan coming off as victims. Number 4, blaming the firm. During the multi-day hearing, in a written statement, Harry once again blamed the institution, meaning the royal family, and the firm, for being at the heart of all his privacy troubles by preventing him from learning sooner about the activity of the Daily Mail and related publications by withholding information about phone hacking by other tabloids. This on top of previous board sides against Queen Camilla calling King Charles's wife a wicked stepmother and harshly speculating to Anderson Cooper during a CNN interview that perhaps she'd be less dangerous if she was happy. Number 3, spare. Last December, it seemed as if Harry and Meghan were merely trying to profit off their Netflix series that unleashed one salacious detail after one another about the firm. By the time Harry's autobiography Spare was released in January, it was clear something far deeper and more ominous was in play in terms of national security. As Harry banded about his truths, only for the wayward Prince and Meghan to become a caricature of themselves in a South Park episode, the two would-be Hollywood monarchs continued to remain oblivious to the damage they were doing to the West as a whole and the United Kingdom in particular. Number 2, not working royals. Since they left the royal family in 2020, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have not worked, so there's a good chance he won't be on the balcony with the rest of the family. King Charles is likely to be joined by Queen Camilla, Prince William, Kate Middleton, and their children, Prince George, who is 9 years old, Princess Charlotte, who is 7 years old, and Prince Louis, who is 4. Finally, number 1, Archie's birthday. The coronation is taking place on May 6 at Westminster Abbey in London, which just so happens to be Prince Archie's 4th birthday. Therefore, Markle will remain in California to commemorate the occasion with her 22-month-old daughter, Princess Lilibet, and Prince Archie. She owes us absolutely nothing. I know how significant birthday celebrations are to kids. It's an approach to showing how she focuses on her own family and is making her preschooler's birthday additionally unique by remaining behind to accompany him. And at number 10, it's a modernized coronation. Billed as a solemn religious event, Charles's modernized coronation is expected to be a reflection of the monarch's role in today's society while being rooted in long-standing traditions and pageantry. As you can see, many of the long-standing traditions and ancient rituals will return to Westminster Abbey for Charles's coronation. However, there will be a significant difference between the king's ceremony and that of his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II. Number 9, different dress codes. Queen Elizabeth showed out in full ceremonial robes made from crimson velvet and ermine for her coronation. Under that, a satin gown embroidered with pearls and crystals. But King Charles's dress code will be a lot more relaxed. so no fancy fabrics and pearls here for King Charles. He might even break tradition and wear his military uniform in honor of the brave servicemen and women who have served their country selflessly. Of course, we can't forget that he will be crowned with the same royal crown as Queen Elizabeth II. So whatever uniform he does choose to wear, it'll still feel like an occasion worthy of kings and queens. With all eyes on him, hopefully Charles won't forget to put on his shoes, or else there's sure to be plenty of chatter about it. No matter what outfit he chooses though, we know one thing is for certain: his coronation will be remembered for years to come. Number 8. What is the Koh-i-Noor diamond? This decision was definitely for the better, so a big thumbs up to whoever is in charge. The Koh-i-Noor diamond is one of the most renowned and contentious diamond artifacts in the world. It is an integral part of the British crown jewels, and its history is steeped in controversy. First discovered in India's mines in 1635, it was presented as a gift to Shah Jahan, a Mughal ruler, who then set it upon his throne as a symbol of power. In 1849, the diamond was then stolen from its rightful owner by the East India Company and sent to Britain as a tribute for Queen Victoria. Over time, the diamond has become increasingly entwined with British royalty and has been passed down throughout generations of monarchs. Most recently, in 1911, King George V removed it from Queen Mary's crown and placed it within Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother's crown, where it currently remains today. However, given its dark past of colonization and exploitation, it is thought that Queen Camilla will not wear the Queen Mother's crown during her coronation ceremony, instead opting to wear Queen Mary's crown, which doesn't contain the diamond. Number 7. Anointing a king and a queen. However, large questions remain regarding how a ceremony rooted in 1,000 years of history might be adapted for the 21st century without the release of the order of service or other broader indications of how everything might play out. Given that we've had further details about the service, such as the role for Prince George and the page boys, Prescott wrote in an email, it becomes increasingly curious that there is still a lack of information about the service itself. It is widely believed that the service will be shorter than Elizabeth's 1953 coronation, which lasted 3 hours, but how long will it take? Even though royal ceremonies typically begin around 10:30 or 11 a.m., no start time has been specified. We know that it will be a shorter ceremony, but in contrast to that ceremony, this one will involve the crowning and anointing of both a king and a queen. Number 6. Division. The coronation has been described as a stripped down affair as millions of Britons struggle with rising living costs and rising energy costs. According to Smith, now we have a situation where there's a lot of division and economic uncertainty. Smith sees a parallel in the dire economic situation that exists today. Thus, we see the ruler attempting to find some kind of harmony between respecting the practice and underlining the principles of the service while recognizing that England is altogether different. King Charles III and his predecessors also have significant differences in age. Camilla is 75 and Charles is 74. Queen Elizabeth II walked down Westminster Abbey by herself when she was only 27 years old, symbolizing the promise of youth. On the day they were crowned, her father, George, was only 41 years old and the Queen Mother was only 36. However, the Sunday Times reports that Charles's eldest son, William, Prince of Wales, who is next in line to the throne and will be the only one permitted to kneel before his father and kiss his right cheek during the ceremony, will represent the promise of youth at the coronation this weekend. People say that he will demonstrate what the next generation is going to look like by being front and center in this manner. Number 5. Breaking tradition. As excitement builds for Charles's coronation as a new king, many are wondering if he will choose to follow his mother's example and be anointed in private. But according to the Telegraph, Charles may break with centuries-old history and allow the public to witness this momentous event. In preparation for such an occasion, a special see-through canopy is going to be made especially for His Majesty. which would make it the first time ever that a British monarch has been anointed in public view, with some speculating that the king will emerge in all his glory with a sparkly crown and a golden scepter. It would certainly be quite a festive affair. Number 4, a shorter ceremony. The coronation process of King Charles III and Queen Camilla is said to be a fraction of the size and expense of his mother's back in 1953. While Her Majesty's convoy required an entourage of 16,000 people and a 5-mile journey through a rainy London, Charles and Camilla's will travel only 1.3 miles through a much more condensed route, in an effort to make sure the subjects can enjoy the ceremony from the comfort and safety of their homes. In keeping with the current monarch's less extravagant vision for the event, there will be just 2,000 guests welcomed at the ceremony. Queen Elizabeth's coronation was attended by a whopping 8,250 people. The estimated cost for Queen Elizabeth's coronation was about $2.9 million, or get this, about $92 million in today's money. But Charles's ceremony is expected to be significantly cheaper due to its shortened length, hopefully allowing taxpayers to at least keep some of their hard-earned cash. Coming in at number 3, the Queen's was one of a kind. When the beloved Queen Elizabeth II ascended to the throne, she made a revolutionary move and decided to televise her coronation in Westminster Abbey. This marked a significant shift from the long-standing tradition of the British monarchy as a highly private affair. This was a move that allowed the nation to come together for such a special occasion. When Queen Elizabeth took the throne, she still had a regal presence, but now we may know too much of the family's dirty laundry to hold them in such esteem. Fast forwarding to the modern age, where digital technology has deeply impacted various aspects of life, King Charles's coronation ceremony is likely to be experienced differently than his mother's. Instead of simply viewing it on TV, people will probably catch glimpses of it on their smartphones throughout the day. However, instead of being just a solemn event to honor royal majesty, social media has certainly changed things up, transforming it into an opportunity for people around the world to comment on everything from Camilla's outfits and hairstyles to King Charles's every gesture. Taking over the number 2 spot, 2 different eras. Charles faces a huge challenge to live up to his mother's legacy and restore the monarchy's relevance in the 21st century. With Brexit further fragmenting the United Kingdom, it is no easy challenge for Charles to remain a unifying force for all of Britain's citizens. After decades of anticipating being crowned king, he must now prove himself as an effective monarch with a modern vision that not only resonates with his subjects but also celebrates the vast diversity within them. It will be interesting to see how Charles handles this unique position and whether he can keep up with Elizabeth's reputation as one of Britain's most beloved monarchs. Only time will tell. Finally, taking over our number 1 spot, swearing their allegiance to the king. At the Queen's coronation, all the dukes in attendance solemnly knelt before her and swore an oath of loyalty to her by promising to become her loyal liege, men and women for life, and to faithfully serve, protect, live and die by her side against anyone who dares to challenge her. As a sign of their commitment, the dukes vowed to bear truth and faith unto Her Majesty. Furthermore, upon King Charles' ascension to the throne, only one person will need to pay homage to him: Prince William. This means that neither Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, nor Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, will have to kneel before the king in order to swear allegiance. What a turn of events! These dukes have been relieved from their knightly duties and can rest easy knowing that their loyalty need not to be tested. No longer will they face the daunting task of swearing loyalty to the king or queen. Number 10, someone is not here. The British royals have a long-standing custom of greeting the public from the balcony on events like coronations, royal marriages, and jubilees. Thousands of people flocked there, squeezing as near as they could to see Buckingham Palace. The anticipation of an appearance is frequently joyful, but one uncertainty clouded the approaching occasion: whether Prince Harry would attend despite resigning from his royal responsibilities. A round of cheers erupted as the royal couple led their page boys and attendees out the door. As the rain fell, more members of the royal family, including working royals like Princess Anne, the Prince and Princess of Wales, their kids, and the king's cousins appeared. Number 9. Who's paying for all this? The cost of the coronation is being covered by the people of Britain. The potential cost has not yet been given an official estimate. According to some sources, it might exceed $112 million. Days prior to the coronation, a representative from Buckingham Palace stated that some estimates are exaggerated and that the actual cost will be revealed later. The event takes place as the United Kingdom struggles to recover from a severe cost of living crisis that left many unable to heat their homes and put food on their tables this winter. There are plenty of commemorative activities and products with coronation themes that might generate more sales, taxes, and officials are anticipating a spike in tourists. Number 8. A salute of 4,000. As the troops assembled and took their positions on the Buckingham Palace grounds to prepare to present their commander-in-chief with a royal salute made up of 4,000 persons, including Princess Anne. Once in position, they turned to face King Charles III and Queen Camilla, who had just emerged, to receive their salutes. A military guy announced, "Royal salute, present arms," before the music started. The majority of the men then took off their headgear before saluting, and an audible hooray followed. Number 7. The Golden State Couch. For a brief moment, the rain stopped as the newly crowned king and queen made their way toward Buckingham Palace. Onlookers tried to get a sight of them or wave British flags, and some were even dressed up for the occasion. From the Gold State Coach, a gilded golden carriage used specifically for the coronation procession to Buckingham Palace, King Charles III and Queen Camilla waved to the throng. While many parade participants walked, others rode horses and bobbed around the wagon. On May 6, 2023 in London, England, King Charles III and Queen Camilla will be crowned. Queen Camilla will be traveling in the Golden State Coach, which was built in 1760 and has been used for every coronation since King William IV in 1831. Today in Westminster Abbey is the coronation of Charles III and his wife Camilla as the new king and queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, and the other Commonwealth realms. And at number 6, Prince William's alleged mistress's son will be a page boy. A shock and drama of the alleged affair between Prince William and Rose Hanbury are set to reach a whole new level. Trusty resources reveal that Rose's son was a page boy at the coronation, with both parties present in the room. This has fueled a speculation on what will happen when all those involved come face to face. William, Kate Middleton, Rose Hanbury, and her husband, David, had been invited as well, even though he was not pegged for any particular role in the ceremony. We can only wait and hold our breath and see how this royal saga unfolds. Was there any awkward encounters? Will tempers flare? One thing is for certain, the coronation of King Charles will be an event to remember for all the right and wrong reasons. And at number 5, family drama. There's a second wife, an embarrassing brother, and an angry son and daughter-in-law, all with allies who aren't shy about whispering secrets in the ears of friendly reporters. Tension was very apparent when all the family got together to celebrate the king's coronation. A lot of unresolved issues came about, and according to resources, there are quite a few awkward moments with certain members of the royal family, creating a tense atmosphere that made everyone in the room feel uncomfortable. It was almost as if there was a giant elephant in the room and no one knew how to handle it. Somewhere deep down, you could sense the underlying tension and toxic energy. And at number 4, the British monarchy is crumbling. The negative sentiment surrounding the royal family has been steadily rising, particularly among younger generations such as Gen Z, who view the monarchy as largely outdated and out of touch. In the past couple of years alone, several dramatic events have shook public trust in the family, from Prince Harry's decision to step away from his duties to Prince Andrew's ties to Jeffrey Epstein. People are beginning to question how fit the royals are for public office. Adding fuel to the fire was a cash for honor scandal involving King Charles III, which further lowered public opinion on the family. With all these shocks piling up on top of decades of accumulated baggage and controversies, it's no surprise that people are increasingly ready to challenge their place in modern Britain. Number 3, protesters. And drama of the protest against King Charles's coronation unfolded as protesters were detained in London while carrying signs that read, "Not my king." The Associated Press reported that Graham Smith, the chief executive of Republic, a well-known anti-monarch group in the UK, was taken into custody along with 5 others while they were unloading placards that read, "Not my king." Video footage tweeted by the Alliance of European Republican Movements, an organization advocating for the abolishing of monarchy across Europe. Abolition shit. When questioned why the protesters had been arrested and detained, the police officer remained silent. The vivid scene quickly spread on social media, prompting shock and outrage from citizens around the world. Taking over the number 2 spot, negative press. The eyes of the world were glued to the screens, eagerly waiting on a glimpse for the king-to-be. But when Prince Harry showed up, all attention quickly shifted to him, and it was as if everyone was playing judge and jury over his every move. A noticeable hush descended on the crowd as he walked in, every eye carefully evaluating his style, bearing, and appearance. It was like the Prince Harry show had taken over the coronation, which had been supposed to be a solemn celebration of the future king's ascension to the throne. The royal commentators and press had a field day commenting on the prince's every little detail, poking fun while they evaluated him. The prince became the center of negative press and innuendos. Finally, in our number 1 spot, Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew, the former Duke of York, was greeted with boos as he drove past the mall in a state car. His attendance at the coronation of his brother King Charles III had been officially dismissed in advance. Buckingham Palace also confirmed Prince Andrew did not have a formal role in the coronation of his brother. He was stripped of his HRH title. Despite numerous denials from Prince Andrew himself, the allegations have continued to remain unsolved.
Let's start off with number 10, involving palace staff in his affair. Even Prince Charles's cleaning staff once kept his affair with Camilla a secret from Princess Diana, or at the very least, they tried to. The Prince of Wales' affair with the Duchess of Cornwall, which occurred while Charles was infamously married to Princess Diana, is well known to honestly everyone. It's safe to assume that some members of the royal family are dissatisfied with the fact that their affair was getting screen time on The Crown, making it by far one of the biggest royal relationship scandals. However, juicy details about their affair are harder to come by. In a well-known interview with News of the World in 1995, the prince's valet Ken Stronach shared shocking details about Charles's affair. He was even fired because of his breach of confidentiality. Stronach claimed at the time that he scrubbed grass stains from Charles's pajamas after the prince would sneak out of bed in the middle of the night to meet with Camilla, and even made sure his bed looked like he had slept in it by ruffling it up. It was very elaborate, but no one was fooled by it. The valet claimed he had become ill as a result of the straining of keeping Charles's secrets. He stated to the newspaper at the time, "We've all been told not to speak to anyone about anything throughout his time with Charles. I became extremely ill as a result of the strain of keeping his secrets. Even though Prince Charles has admitted to the affair and married Camilla, it's clear that the firm still doesn't like to talk about this royal stuff." On to number 9, during his marriage to Princess Diana, he had his first significant encounter with disapproving public opinion. Footage of the couple touring Australia suggests that he was jealous of how much more popular she was. Diana confirmed that Charles envied the public's devotion to his wife in her explosive '95 interview with Martin Bashir, saying the pressure on us both as a couple with the media was phenomenal and misunderstood by a great many people. She said, "We'd be going around Australia, for instance, and all you could hear was, 'Oh, she's on the other side.'" Diana subsequently clarified that the waiting crowds were expressing their disappointment that Charles was closer to them rather than Diana, explaining, "They weren't on the right side to wave at me or to touch me." Ouch. I can understand why Charles took offense to that, but at the same time, that's your woman. You should be happy your people love her. On to number 8, hiding details about their wealth. The royal family is under few requirements to disclose details of its wealth, but all I'm gonna say is, if you want to find out, it's not too difficult to go all Sherlock Holmes on the family. The family's communications with the government are exempt from freedom of information requests. Their official papers are kept secret by Britain's National Archives for at least 50 years. The lack of transparency has led anti-monarchy groups, including the Republic, to call the monarchy an unaccountable public institution that has the power, secrecy, and influence to willfully abuse its position. Without a change, many details of the royal family's private wealth may never be known. Facts about the Duchy of Lancaster's offshore investments were leaked back in 2017. Leaked docs revealed $13 million. I wonder what else can be revealed if more docs were suddenly leaked. Seriously, we need to do some investigative work on this family. Other reports have suggested questionable foreign dealings or arrangements. King Charles was accused of offering to help secure a knighthood for a Saudi national in response to a donation to his charitable foundation. Representatives of Charles denied an impropriety, but it still sounds a little suspicious to me. On to number 7, Diana's mental health. After learning about the tragic ending of Diana and Charles's marriage, we find out how much his unfaithful and negligent actions impacted Diana's mental health. He clearly has narcissistic tendencies, to the point where it became detrimental to Diana's and his son's health while she was alive and while they were young. On to number 6, political scandal. Prince Charles has been accused of attempting to influence the British government in some shady ways. In 2015, Charles received confidential papers on the inner workings of the British government that even elected ministers hadn't seen. How did he manage to get his hands on these papers? I have a feeling the excuse that he was a part of the monarchy is not a good enough reason, but for now, let's just say that is why, since it's undetermined. The Guardian received 27 memos dubbed the Black Spider memos because it showed that the royal prince was somehow engaged in efforts about a range of issues, from orders of military helicopters during the Iraq War to illegal fishing of the Patagonian toothfish. The controversy here is that some people believe it is normal for a royal to be involved in political affairs, while some think the members of the family should stay out of politics. But what do you think? Let me know in the comment section if you believe royals should be involved in politics or should just stick to the other royal duties that steer clear of the political side. On to number 5, financial scandal. Another scandal for us to talk about. Charles allegedly accepted unofficial commissions from a previous Qatari prime minister for his charitable endeavors, which sounds a little fishy. As a supporter of homeopathy, he'd earned the label of being anti-science. Charles has also drawn criticism for his lavish spendings. The king has 6 homes on his estate, 11 secretaries, a large staff of servants, many expensive cars, and an annual salary of $20 million. I get that he is a king, but it is very interesting to know not only does he have this insane annual income, but on top of that, the whole family is extremely secretive of their wealth and where exactly they are possibly getting this amount of money. Any theories? I want to know what you think they could be doing for them to be able to afford this lifestyle. On to number 4, backlash. Charles's troubled past has been exposed numerous times now that he is king. A senior member of parliament dubbed Charles Britain's best informed lobbyist after secret documents about the British government inner workings had been exposed to be received to him. Clarence House stated at the time that it is typical for heirs to the throne to be briefed on political topics. However, critics argued members of the family should avoid politics. On to number 3, charity scandal. One of the other scandals the king has been involved in. British police had launched an investigation with Charles's charity, the Prince's Trust, after reports of a cash for honors scheme. Accusations were made that a close aide, Michael Fawcett, offered a Saudi tycoon a knighthood in exchange for $2 million in donations. The investigation started after it was reported that Fawcett stepped down from his role as the chief executive of the foundation after being accused of misconduct. It was reported that tens of thousands of dollars were paid to make up for links to the prince. Basically, they were trying to bribe this Saudi prince by offering him a royal title in exchange for money which allegedly would be going towards their foundation. Unethical. But anyway, on to number 2, controversies. As most of the royals, King Charles has quite a controversial history. Knowing the times he's grown up in, we can't easily say he just doesn't know any better, but I can't say I'd be surprised to know he doesn't really keep any woke people around him. I mean, after all, who would dare correct the king, right? As hard as it might be for Charles, a key part of being the king is winning over the people, and as overwhelming his scandalous past has been, it's no surprise that there are still people who do not care for him as a king. Many reports from royal sources have claimed that the newly appointed king has waited 70 years for this moment and wants to do as much as he can to become a progressive monarchy, and also to win over the hearts of the nation as well as internationally. But because of their actions, media outlets and those who are more engaged in the royal family drama, like us, have been diving more into the history of the royals, which, let me tell you, is not the most perfect and influential history in the world. Tainted by the countless controversies and scandals, the royal family has been catching a lot of heat about how they are not using their power for the greater good, but rather abusing it while also remaining secretive. What are your thoughts? Do you think the royal family is being smart about the power they have? Considering the scandals the king and other members have been a part of, is it acceptable for them to be the way they are portrayed in the media? And finally, number 1, Princess Diana's letter. Paul, one of Diana's former butlers, said that the princess predicted her own passing in a car crash. Apparently, she was so scared 10 months before she passed that she wrote to Paul saying that there was a plot made by a member of the family and that her car brakes would be tampered with and she would suffer serious head injuries, and all of this would be so that the Prince of Wales could marry again. Chilling. The letter she wrote read, "I am sitting here at my desk today in October, longing for someone to hug me and encourage me to keep strong and hold my head high. This particular phase in my life is the most dangerous. My husband is planning an accident in my car, brake failure and serious head injury in order to make the path clear for him to marry Tiggy." Camilla is nothing but a decoy. So what do they do with this letter, you ask? Well, they keep it in a very safe place. Will Charles ever speak on this super suspicious letter? Most likely not, but we do need the answers. But that is all for today. Let me know what you think about this shady business. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more juicy royal updates and news on your favorite celebrities. But I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.